Goku! 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 Can't afford to lose. Everyone's counting on me.
So in this one, I'm going to be doing my first top 10 tier list of the year. I actually didn't make one for GT Spirit Bomb because we did get announced a second LF for the GT campaign. So I did wait for 17 to release, and there is a lot of fluctuation since our previous list, right? We have a brand new, obviously GT is heavily meta right now. Androids are being brought back up, etc. But before we do jump into this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and of course, let's just jump right into it. We do have the 4 meta controllers right now. I think these guys are above everybody else in the game. I think that's kind of known. Like, if you don't know, that means you might not be playing the game. But these guys are literally just individually, team-wise, all of the factors, colors are just dominance above everything else, right? So we do have, of course, LF Beast Gohan, LF Godok, LF UI Sign, or Ultra, UI Sign. And then the brand new 17 does make the top cuts. There is some talk with this guy being number 1. I think he has the potential to be number 1. I'm just going to state this at the beginning of the video, is that he can be, but I'm not going to be placing him at number 1 in this video because he doesn't have the teams to back it. Unfortunately, he is very limited, it being also blast oriented. He barely, I don't want to even say barely, because he fits fine on GT. I think the best GT setup does include him because he's so individually powerful. But, yeah, being a little bit, range type, having units say like Evoken, right? They've aged really badly because they aren't versatile on many teams. You're only seeing them on Universe Rep, which is still very powerful. But even units like UI Sign, who is range type, you're seeing him on a numerous setups because he can be extremely versatile, say on like Saiyans. You can run him on Sun Family, on like hybrids, etc., like leader slots. He has way better access to teams than just Universe Rep. But yeah, Beast Gohan, I don't really need to talk about how powerful these units are individually, but a lot of the taggings, UI Sign, Godok, and Beast have all really versatile taggings, right? So movies, Sun Family, Saiyans, and Saiyans has all 3 Rising Rush protectors, from GT Spirit Bomb to having Endurance, Indestructible with Godok, and then of course Pycon's Revival. So those 3 specific characters, if you want to mix and match, have really strong protection, nullifying buffs with the Spirit Bomb Goku. And then even like G4 is like a nice contender for Saiyans, which nullifies has anti-revival, where you're getting a secondary rush, Dragon Balls, all that good stuff, damage buff. But yeah, really powerful stuff here. If you want to have any of these characters at the top, I'm not even going to argue with you. The one that I'd probably disagree with is to have this guy number 1 with the release of 17. That's like the one thing I'd say this is not the wave. Like, individually, yes, he's up there. He is one of the top units individually of the game. And even being at a disadvantage to 17, he has so much protection team-wise. He has type neutral defense on cover. He's doing pretty good. He has the gauge to protect him as well. He has ways of going type neutral offensively. So this guy is definitely cooking regardless. But at number 1, unfortunately, I'm not going to be putting him up there today. I think the competitors for the number 1 position not remain, because I guess UI was up there a little while ago, but, post 17, I'm going to say LF Beast Gohan and LF Godok. Of course, Beast Gohan is very free right now. You're still not running into many blues. It's really just Godok, GT Spirit Bomb, and you're running into, like, MVP 17. That's, like, pretty much as good as it gets, but, he feels very free. And then individually as well, he just has just constant cover nullification and vanish restoration. And then the team wise, right, you're running Beast Gohan and Godok together, and maybe even Pan support. That team combination right now is literally broken. I've seen a lot of people undermine the value of Pan still, and just her value is because of how powerful these top units are via tag wise, right? Hybrid Saiyan, Sun Family. Her support is just timeless right now. Like, she is over a year old at this point, and she's just, having these units not need a support unit just shows you how strong they can be with a support unit on their team. They're literally just one-shotting AoE greens, like I said, constant vanish restore. So you keep gaining priority, you can keep vanishing, one-shotting, etc. Right? These units are literally broken. And I'm gonna just have it like this is the combination I want to have right now. You could do this. I've seen people are U-Beast right now, and I understand why. But Godok really has so much control, and I think more team versatility than Beast Gohan. It's very close. It's like literally the same thing, but I think Godok has that plus some, right? They have so many more like Saiyan setups. You can run Godok with Beast, etc., right? The AoE greens, all the same reasonings, right? The 2 colors, but he also has rush protection. The indestructible has become extremely valuable because there's nothing to combat or counter against that. You have to break through his indestructible. But yeah, this is the setup, the top 3. No, I am moving UI sign down. You would have thought. We are putting Super 17 at number 3 in the game right now, and that's actually really insane considering he does lack teams. You know, he is a range type character. You're not having him on any strike setups other than GT. GT being a little bit rounded out. You can build GT for a rounded out offensive setup. It's also very defensive with GT Spirit Bomb being very durable. Healing pretty much everything. The support on GT flows really well as well. Gogeta 4 is, you know, extremely valuable. Speaking of GT Spirit Bomb, I'm just going to slap him up here. I'm going to throw him at top 5. This is my current top 5 in the game right now. You know, GT Spirit Bomb having the same access that UI, Beast Gohan, Godok does on all the Saiyan, all the Sun family teams, having endurance, nullifying buffs like ultimate cards, Rising Rush, endurance nullification, you name it, right? He does nullify a lot of buffs, but unfortunately doesn't nullify the blue card buffs, which, you know, Beast Gohan has that, Godok has that, and I find it a little bit iffy because he's basically the new age 17, MVP 17, but MVP has that blue card endurance nullification or buff nullification. You guys know what I'm saying. And I think that's a little bit funny, but high stars, you know, I've seen some ridiculous tanking. I've seen some ridiculous healing durability from this character, right? He is very powerful. And I think he's only going to gain value over time as GT continues to get more buffs here. We can definitely expect more because GT does not even feel complete. We did just get a full color wheel with the 1% included, the new yellow pan, the Bola's purple, 17's red, Goku's blue, and then G4's green, right? So we're still due for an Ultra. We could probably still get some other, maybe say another LF in the near future here, maybe a Super Saiyan 4 Goku or Vegeta, etc., right? They feel like they're pumping out GT content. It's festival, right, for GT, but we have the whole year to go through right now. Top 5 is looking pretty nifty. Number 6, I'm going to slap on Revival Pycon. Has the same exact protection value, same exact offensive, defensive value. Very rounded out / versatile unit. You're throwing him even on like Fusion Warriors, which is not a really great team right now, but it's not a bad team whatsoever, right? So you got Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to complement him, you got VB to complement him, and then even Super 17 is a fusion character, so he could be built either Striker Blast oriented. You could have him on movies with Beast, you could have him on Saiyans with Godok and UI, you could have him on leader slot on anything. And Revival is one of the strongest mechanics in the game alongside like Indestructible, right? So Rising Rush being one of the strongest mechanics, to have something to protect against that, this guy's value. I remember when they were talking down on him, and he's been up here ever since. Like, he's been very powerful ever since. So we're going to continue to throw units on the list here. I got Gogeta 4 next. GT on its way up. He fits everywhere, right? Having this guy being very common, having greens being pretty safe as well, considering you're not seeing any purples, because UI is the one character in the game that has actually eliminated an entire color. You might see some resurgence of purple with the fact of 17 dropping, but even then, it's very, uneasy to run a purple, because all it takes is one catch for UI to snipe this character out of existence, right? The UI has one of the best individual kits in the game, and you're just going to lock in and snipe him. He has access to abilities that no other unit has in the entire game. So this unit is still going to be ran despite 17 releasing. He has the tags, he has everything. So purples, you're not going to be seeing him that much other than like androids or maybe Jiren on Unirep. That's pretty much as close as it gets. And even then, like I said, if you run into a UI, which is still going to be extremely common, it's bad, bro. So greens are hella free. Gogeta 4 has the anti-revival, which is powerful. You're getting your Dragon Balls, you're getting a damage buff. He fits great with GT Spirit Bomb and 17 on GT. He fits great with Godok and Revival Pycon for Mono Green. Fits great with UI and Godok. Fits great on Saiyans in general, but like I said, Fusion Warriors is good. So So team combinations really great. Other utilities, cover nullification, the extra blue card, the extra ultimates. You know, you name it, right? That's pretty much it. Like, yeah, G4 is really freaking good. So we have 8, 9, and 10. This is where it's always fun at the end of the list here because it's really easy to note who are killing it in the meta. And a lot of these, you can have your own opinions to shift the list or whatever. But let me know in the comment section what you guys are thinking so far, or if you guys have any specific opinions. But moving on to 7, or no, excuse me, 8. It's going to be a little bit tough here. Okay, so we have, you know, I want to talk about Cell. Even if he doesn't make the list, I want to throw him in honorable mentions because Cell definitely just got value. So the meta is and has been dominated by greens for a little bit of time now with, you know, like I said, Gogeta, we got Pycon, we got Godok, we got Piccolo, we got Evo Ken, we got Revival UI. It's a ton of greens running around. So, you know, dominated by greens. You'd think you would see a purple, right? So there's got to be purples in somewhere. And with 17, right? You know, the fact that he's up here, he needs teams, right? So androids, we're going to throw, where's MVP? Where is the GOATs? Why is he hiding? Dude, yeah, why is he hiding, bro? So this team combination is really good right now. Androids is kind of back. Once they have priority, they're just train wrecking. They do a lot of burst blast damage. They got support, good cover nullification, good healing. But as soon as they get caught, especially Cell, especially MVP, these guys cannot tank to save their lives. And that is also one issue with 17 is that his defensive prowess is really bad. So this team is just glass cannon. So androids is really good, but I wouldn't say they're at the top of the game. They'd be lucky to even be considered a top 5 team right now, but they're right on the edge of it. So if they are, they're like number 5, number 4, something like of the sort, because I still think hybrids, Sun Family, movies, stuff like that is definitely a tier above, and all the variants with them as well. It's not just one team dedicated, maybe even GT above this. We're going to throw Cell MVP at the lower end of the top 10. I want to keep them at honorable mentions for right now because I feel like they can be, one of these guys can be argued number 10, and it's probably going to be MVP. I don't really want to throw Cell into the top 10. I've seen people do it, and on my initial thoughts list on Twitter, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I actually post a list before I make this video. I have Cell next to 17, basically showing that I want to recognize his new value in the meta, but purples are still really bad because of UI. Like, doesn't matter how much 17 is going to be ran, UI is going to be ran just as much, if not more, because hype value, UI, it's the same thing with VB, it's the same thing with any hype character. People are going to run them no matter what, and this unit is, you know, it's still broken. It's just red beats yellow. Then again, there's ways to counter protect UI sign from, you know, the rest of the reds, right? There's only 2 reds that you're really seeing like that, and then UVB does exist as well. Funny enough, we can talk about UVB for a little second. I know we're kind of all over the place with this last topic, but UVB's on his way out of the top 10 in my personal opinion. I think he's on this back end. He's 8, 9, or 10, or even out of it because he's only on Fusion Warriors. You know, 17 does feel like a new age VB, but guess what? This guy doesn't have a lot of versatility. He's hitting very, you know, he's got really good cover nullification, really good utilities, the AoE ultimate, the nullify endurance with Rising Rush, but guess who nullifies that ability? The one unit that you're running into the meta with endurance. Everybody else is indestructible, revival, and then these units are just featured on the teams, right? The ability's still great, but yeah, VB's on his way out of the top 10. I honestly want to kick him out of the top 10 in this video. I had him at like 9 or 10 on my initial list on Twitter, but he's great. He can still cook up. He still has access to Saiyans, fusions, and that's pretty much it. It's mainly fusions. You're not really running this guy on Saiyans, to be completely honest. The counter is great still. The type neutral, said utility is really fantastic, but if he's not 10, he's out. This is a really tough position because I actually have to make the hard choice here. A lot of people are like, no, you're bugging, or you're this or that. Bro, play the game. Play the game. It's not even a bad thing to be out of the top 10. There's way more meta characters behind the top 10 list. But I think he's out of the top 10. Let's just be 100% here. He's very limited. Very limited, and he's not cooking up like 17 right now. So to be limited, you need to be cooking up that hard, bro. Power creep is a real thing. Even Evo Ken having a 1 team in the game. Obviously released after VB, but I still think these guys can cook. They're hella underrated right now. And I know there's people that are like, underrated. What do you mean universe rep is on top? Whatever. Are you tapped in with the main community or not? I'm just going to be honest with you guys, because Evoken is hella underrated to have one team, and the #1 player right now is running a green, blue universe rep setup. The combo potential, the damage, the whatever, it's very limited, the team, and they have access to pretty much everyone in universe rep. They have UI, of course, MVP, whatever you name it, but one tag in the game and they're still this high up. I think I would have him at 9. 9 or 8. This is my rating for them. And then the androids could be like this. This is probably what I'd go with for the, you know, I did shift a couple of things from my Twitter list because I got to take VB out of the top 10. If he's not, he might be 10, bro, but it's tough out here, man. It's really tough for these last characters because they're all around the same value. If anything, androids is better because of 17. Like, let's just be 100% here. Let's do this for now. I'm gonna throw 17 there. 9, 10 is gonna be this. I think this is the wave I'm doing. I'm not gonna disrespect Evoken at all. I don't care what anybody says. They have, it's the problem with them is they're just defensive protection, stuff like that. You got to be running like a revival or endurance or something of the sort, or not get caught. But they have access to a lot of Zenkai buffers. The damage is really solid. The support can be solid, but the combo potential, they just endless combos. So this unit's hella, I'd say, underrated amongst some of the best units in the game. It's definitely the worst aging unit from Legends Fest out of like Godok, Beast, UI Sign. He's on the back end, of course, but it's really just a team sake. Guess you could throw a little bit of individual nature there. He needs some defensive stuff either for himself or someone on his team to do that for him. And that's what Jiren does exist for. The purple, this guy right here, he's going to be on honorable mentions. I think purples are definitely seeing some resurgence. But, yeah, at number 10, I'm going to have Cell and VB. I honestly can't make the greatest decision here. I think Cell can honestly take it. VB would be, like, right there. But he's really just on fusions. Green, red fusions is literally one team. This is the only team VB's on. There's no other team. Future's not it. There's no other fusions combination. You could argue the red, green. Like maybe this. Maybe like VB doesn't want to be ran right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He's just been power crept. This is as simple as that. That's just the bottom line of it. He's still a great option. He's still fantastic. He's just not needed anymore. So units that we'll have in like honorable mentions. By the way, we can talk about Cell and MVP really quickly. They're a core on androids. They need it for 17. They're up here. This guy is great on universe rep. And they're on their way out. Very squishy units. Cell came up, honestly, because, you know, all purples got eradicated with UI, but individually, Cell is still fantastic. He just, it's against UI, he can't live. So, obviously, the death damage that he deals, the AoE death damage, the constant cover null, the gauge fill, the combo potential, the AoE green card, you name it. Androids is fantastic. The equipment, the pure damage, like, Androids has it. They're really good. I mean, you could talk about regen with Janemba and stuff, but it's regen's not a part of the picture right now. So we're gonna talk about so let's throw a couple of units that I would throw in honorable mentions. We can slap Janemba up here. One unit that gets heavily underrated right now is Pan, because you know she's a support character. She's like, you're gonna have her above Janemba or Jiren? Let's talk about meta. Let's talk about teams. You're running into Pan way more. It's not even a debate. Her tags have the best units in the game. Sun Family hybrids. That's literally this team in the game is one of the best. Is one of the best teams, undoubtedly. Supporting the best two characters. Support has always been valuable. It's not necessary. Right now, definitely not. And I think that's what people's argument. She's not necessary because Beast supports himself, or she's not necessary because these units are just so powerful on their own. But the teams do exist where you can have those two units carry, and just a tad bit of hand support is enough to make these characters nuke and do really disgusting damage, right? Not only that, the utility, right, that she does provide, the glue, you name it, right? She is fodder, but she is a part of some of the main setups on movies, on Sun Family, etc., right? Janemba, good individually. What does he have? He has movies. And if he's not on movies, right, so he's got Beast Gohan, he's got Who else? He's got Revival Icon, he's got Revival Piccolo, and he's got Pan. That's pretty much it. You're not running him on regen. You're not running, you could say PO, but Jiren's the same thing. He's very limited. He's only on Universe Rep, but one of the best purple tanks in the game to kind of protect Evoken from, you know, immediately dying and stuff like that. I'll probably throw 2 more characters on here, and then we're going to call it because it'd be too long of a list to be considered a top 10 plus honorables. There's a lot of characters here. Pickle, I'd probably throw up here as well. Probably above Janemba. I'd probably throw Jiren above Janemba. You know, people are thinking, really? You're throwing this unit? Teams, bro. Teams. I mean, he's a blue character, so, you know, he's getting some value with a new red you're running into often, so maybe it doesn't, I'm not really ordering the honorable mentions and stuff like this. So you could have all these units above if you want, but I wouldn't throw him in the 10. He's too squishy. Very limited. Units that are limited on teams just have less overall value. And the last one, I don't even want to throw Ape, bro. Like, Ape is a good character, but I don't think I'd even throw him on this, like, on this list, the top 15. Ape is fine. It's not even that he's a bad Zenkai, but people want to cope for this character just because he's good. Like, he's good. It's fine. He does great. Saiyans is a real thing. There's one yellow character. One. There's better options for reds as well. Like, there's one yellow character. It's not so... It's just... He's okay. If you want to have him on the list, fine. Let me think. Even Gotenks, I'd say, has more arguable value than freaking Ape Vegeta, bro. He's on hybrids. He's on movies. He's on fusions. Units like Pan's gonna benefit. Gohan's gonna benefit. Units that juice up, not only help protect the main characters of this game. You're not using Ape Vegeta, bro. Like, despite, I know that it's not a real top argument. Like, if you don't see the character, then it doesn't devalue him, right? But it's just the fact that other better options for red exist, specifically Beast Gohan. And then if you're running Saiyans, I'd rather run Godok, Revival Pikkon, GT Goku, Gogeta. I'd rather run any of these characters than have this dude on the team. Let's be real. He's good, but he's definitely on the back end of, you know, of some of the better use of the game. Bulla's fine, by the way, as well. Like, she's an okay unit. I've seen a little bit of overgas for her. I've seen a little bit of underrated for her. She's all right. I'd say Pan's a overall better support, versatile character. What is she on? GT and hybrids? That's pretty much it. You could Uber Juice, Beast Gohan. You could support for GT, another great unit for her alongside GT Spirit Bomb. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, stuff like that. But I wouldn't throw her, I don't think, in the top 15, to be completely honest with you. You could argue it, though. I'd say you can argue it. It's definitely arguable. It's up here. Don't want to underrate this unit either. But who could be the last option? It's really... This is pretty much it, though. Honorable mentions is this. Top 15 characters. I'm not going to throw any more characters in this because it could get just way too complex. Just Nobula's fine. She's really good. Gotenks is good. This Pan's okay. Ape Vegeta's, you know, he's good. Is there anybody else that's worth mentioning? Gamma's is good with the androids on the, you know, the resurgence coming back. Rev UI is really good. But they're not top 15, right? So that's what we're talking about specifically in this video. If you guys want a full unit list, again, I've made one recently, but this is the full top 10 list right now. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Haven't liked the video, by the way, towards the end. What are you doing, mate? But this is the full list, you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Obviously, tier lists can definitely be changed, argued, debated, and stuff like that. But this is my personal preference list. I do play in the top ranks, even if I'm playing casually, no matter what. And this is what I think right now of the meta, of at least the top 15 characters in the meta. So, yeah, make sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the very next one. Stay frosty, and I'm out.
Up all night, so you don't wanna wait on me. I'm about to catch my flight, so you don't gotta wait on me.